Thanks for watching Girl Talk. We've got a great show for you today. We are filming here at Rubens Furniture in downtown Madison.
Gorgeous place to be, isn't it? And a little earlier this week, Janet had the chance to talk with Jenny McCarthy about how to keep your look current, and we're going to go check out what those ladies had to say right now.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. Our next guest is a name and a face that you're sure to recognize. She's a model, actress, comedian, and author. With all that business sense, she's also always had a keen sense of style. Jenny McCarthy joins us today from New York to share a little insight on how to keep our look fresh, fashion forward, and functional. That's like the trifecta, Jenny. Good morning, Jenny.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
It's probably good afternoon actually for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, almost, yeah.
So Jenny, now a lot of women are guilty of finding a style or a look that works for them at the time, and then they kind of hang on to it a little bit too long. In your career, you've evolved from model to actress and author, and your look is always evolving along with you. So do you have any tips for women on keeping their look current?
Yeah, you know, I was never really the fashion forward kind of person. I really relied on people that knew what they were talking about and the resources around me. So I was smart enough to ask questions and ask for help. And when it came time for readers, in my old age, I found a website called iCessorize.com, and I fell in love with it because it had not only so many different designer glasses to choose from, it offered advice. Like there's designers like iBobs, Corinne McCormick, Scojo, to name a few, because when we go out and look for glasses, readers, sometimes we just get lost, and especially because we have such variety, which is wonderful, we can get confused. And on the site, they kind of help us narrow it down based on the shape of our face. For me, I'm a little bit more narrow, so I went for the cat eye that kind of widens my face and lifts it up. But on the site, it can help guide you that way. It can also help you keep up on some trends, because God knows it is very difficult for us to figure out what's new and cool, and they help you by telling you.
Absolutely. How great to have a place to go to that's going to help you with all of that. I get that, and especially when there's variety, which you said is good, it can also be a little overwhelming, especially when it's something that's new for you.
Exactly.
Like the readers. So what is trending for fall? What's going on with that?
Right now, frames in jade and emerald greens are trending. iBobs are perfect for this. Women with cool hair colors especially, works great. Also, Corinne McCormick has some bold black lace frames that work great with a red lip to kind of balance out the face. You can see that the website gives you those kind of makeup tips that go along with it. For men, we're not going to leave you out of the picture. Matte black frames are really hot right now from Scojo, New York, and they're great for everyday wear and work. But don't forget, because they make so many different varieties now, use readers as accessories, just like any other fashion accessory, like purses or shoes or belts. Don't just have one, you can have many.
Great. So this place is called iCessorize, and that's cool that you mentioned the men, because we know that men watch Girl Talk too.
Yeah. Of
course. What tips do you have for helping to pick the right frame? You mentioned you have a narrow face. What are some other tips?
On the site, it can really, narrow it down for you. I say always go with the shape of your face first and your hair color and your skin tone, and then go into trends. Start there first.
Okay, sounds good. And you mentioned use it like an accessory, so change it out and change your look.
Exactly.
Don't pick one style and stick with it.
Exactly. I feel like whatever you're doing, use it for that event. Thank you.
And well, you're a busy mom and busy working woman. We have to ask, what else is going on with you right now? What are you working on? And what's coming
my
down the
radio
line?
show, Monday through Friday on Sirius XM.
Okay. Where can folks go for more information, Jenny?
They can go to iCessorize.com.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time with us today, Jenny. And iCessorize.com, that's the place to go to check out that eyewear that Jenny's talking about. We'll be right back with more Girl Talk here on the CW 57. Welcome back to Girl Talk. September 30th was National Women's Health and Fitness Day, and now we're into October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So what better time to talk about women's health? With our next guest, we have Dr. Bailey Nye. She's from All About Chiropractic, and she's going to give us the facts and help us make smarter choices for our health as women. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
Always nice to see you.
Let's start with being proactive. How can women be proactive? What are some of the things we should be doing?
Well, a big reason that people or women in general should be proactive about their health is actually because we have this fallacy of feeling good, meaning that a lot of times we think that our health is based on our feelings. So if we think we're healthy or we feel good, then that must mean everything's okay. And the truth is, the top 3 killers of females is heart disease, cancer, and stroke. And all of those things initially have very little early symptoms or might not have any symptoms at all. So it's really important that we work on being proactive and look at things that we can do on a daily basis for our health.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's scary to even think about, but it's important to be proactive about it. As well, I mean, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, what are some ways that we can prevent breast cancer?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of times, a lot of doctors in general, we just say, early detection is key. So you'll hear a lot of information about going in and making sure you're getting your yearlies and your mammograms and all those good things. But there's actually a lot of things that we can also do to help prevent cancer. And a couple of those big things were actually discovered by Johns Hopkins. They did research with men and women with cancer and realized that all men and women with cancer actually have 2 things. They're malnourished and they have high acidity in their body. So making sure that you have a diet that has a lot of basic foods in it is really good. Things like, greens, vegetables, lean proteins, as opposed to red meats, simple carbohydrates.
So those are two indicators that you might not realize. Like you said, you might be feeling good and not knowing that you have these kind of warning signs of these awful things that women go through.
And also frequent exercise too can actually decrease your risk of cancer, even as close to up to 50%. So it's a pretty big statistic. So it is really important to make sure that you're getting physical activity in on a weekly basis. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I mean, just to think that exercise, it does all these other wonderful things for you, and it does that too. So there's no reason not to. And at least that's what we're going to keep telling ourselves, right? So you've got, cancer, heart disease. You mentioned those were 2 of the biggest concerns facing women nowadays. Are there any other major health concerns that you kind of want to bring to light?
Yeah, a lot of times when we see women, a lot of their concerns either include, body aches and pains. It's a really big one. They also have concerns over things like hormones, stress, fertility, pregnancy. But one of the on the rise topics that we find a lot of people, or women in particular, talking about is osteoporosis. And their concern for their bone health and bone density.
So let's talk about that.
Sure.
I bet you're going to say exercise is going to be one of the things, but what are some of the things that we should be doing to help prevent osteoporosis?
That's great. And osteoporosis, what we have to understand is there's a lot of conflicting information out there about it. A couple of those is in fact that you want to do low intensity or low impact exercise, when the truth is you actually want impactful exercise, because impact on the bones actually helps rebuild new bone. So it's really important that we are getting either like that strength training in, or that we are going for a light jog as opposed to just hanging out in the pool and doing no resistance training. Also, we need to understand that calcium is in milk. It's not the best source, okay? Milk is not your best source of calcium. Actually, dark leafy greens are. And in fact, Wisconsin actually has the highest rate of osteoporosis in the nation, and we're the dairy state, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are really surprised by that. So we need to make sure that we're incorporating a lot of those dark leafy greens, kale, spinach.
And those are basic foods too, like you mentioned earlier. So you're kind of hitting on 2 points there when you eat those.
Yep, absolutely.
We're almost out of time. Is there one quick more tip you want to give to us before we head out?
Yeah, absolutely. For women in general, there's a lot of good tips and secrets for women, but obviously, like we talked about, including health in your daily routine is really important. So make sure you're doing something healthy for yourself on a daily basis, as well as making sure that you're staying very hydrated. 40% of people confuse hunger and thirst all the time. So make sure that you reach for your water before you're reaching for food. And then last but not least, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you decide like, okay, I might need some help with my health, don't be afraid to reach out to that wellness doctor.
And you're such a wealth of knowledge.
Seeing you every month because you just remind me to keep to do these things more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You're
Always
welcome,
love
ladies.
conversations with you.
Thank
Very
you
good.
for having me.
Good information. This is Dr. Bailey Nye. She's with All About Chiropractic, and they're on Mineral Point Road. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're with Horung Do. It's a martial arts, and they're going to give us tips on keeping ourselves safe with verbal assertion and some de-escalation tips. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Girl Talk, everyone. Joining us now, we have Charles and Billy. They're head instructors and owners at Horung Do. Thank you guys for joining us. I think that this is an excellent topic, especially I know this month being October, we're focused a lot on women's wellness. And a part of that is definitely self-defense. That's, a huge component. So I always love having you guys on and learning more about that. And now today, I think let's start by talking about when you are in maybe a potentially threatening situation, what can you do, verbally and in terms of de-escalation?
Yeah, so verbal de-escalation and verbal assertiveness is so important because it's actually one of your first lines of interaction in a potentially dangerous situation. And so it's a good way to feel out the situation, to present yourself in a strong way.
Sure.
And that's also one of the things where if someone's not listening and not responding properly to your verbal de-escalation, you know that this situation is becoming more serious and you have to take further steps.
So it's a good way to begin gauging kind of where you're at in the situation.
Exactly right.
Awesome.
And when you teach this, how is it used differently between children and adults?
Well, some of the common denominators are that we want to be loud. We don't want anyone to fight if they don't have to. For children and adults, when you're loud, you're going to draw attention to the situation, and that might have someone come and give aid, and that's really what we're looking for. But children are going to be saying things that are more along the lines of bullying or potential abduction. So they're going to be talking about things like, stop it or I'm going to tell the teacher, or maybe in a park scenario, you're not my mom, you're not my dad, stay away from me. Where adults can say whatever they want, it might be more along the lines of, sir, stay back, please keep your distance, I don't have cash for you, I don't have the time, whatever it might be.
And I'm thinking in both of those situations or scenarios, it's important to keep a strong voice and be confident about what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of times when people kind of get stressed out, people they'll raise their voices, or sometimes they become a little out of control. So one of the things that we really emphasize is good breathing. Take a deep breath. Focus on your thoughts before you say what you're going to say, and then it projects clear, it projects better, rather than just a ramble or just yelling at someone. Sometimes
Absolutely.
if the situation has already escalated, it's important maybe to slow things down, speak a little more calm to bring the issue down that the person may be having also.
And that's kind of one of the de-escalation techniques as well. And I think that
Absolutely.
is really important because you can be loud without being necessarily rational and collected and calm. So that's
Absolutely.
another really big part of that too.
You bet.
And are there any, I know you mentioned breathing just now, are there any other techniques used to kind of perform de-escalation?
The way you present yourself is really important. So even if you're saying the right things, if your body language is wrong, you're not going to have the same results. So you do want to present yourself the right way with good posture, making eye contact. One of the things we practice is our self-defense stance. If you're using verbal de-escalation, having your palms out, sending that signal of stop, and also having your hands up. If you needed to defend yourself, you can block, defend things, strike if you have to. Standing that way is really important.
So you're keeping an empowered voice and kind of an empowered stance and body language all throughout.
That's really important also, because if there's bystanders that are observing the situation, they will see that you're making all the efforts to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to make sure you're speaking to the person. It's not an aggressive posture. You're asking the person to please stay back, be mindful. You're being mindful of your surroundings and of everything that's happening around you.
I'm interested in how you kind of like create this in your academies. How do you practice this or put it to use?
That's a really good question. For children, one of the things that we do for children and adults is put them in leadership positions where they might be running little components of class or demonstrating drills. We do practice, martial art key-ups, so practicing our yells, and even just counting loud, answering questions loud in class, so that we practice having that commanding voice.
Yeah, building that confidence even a little bit at a time.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And using it just in everyday life or at the academy, I think just gets people much more comfortable using that when they are in a potentially threatening situation.
That's what we're going to say through the repetition, it just breeds more comfort.
Oh, definitely. I can totally see that. And I know you guys like to get involved with the community too. Do you guys have any community events coming up?
Yeah, I actually have a self-defense thing that we're doing this Saturday at 1 o'clock at my West Academy at 6713 O'Dana Road.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep, there's a number of organizations that are coming in to participate in that, and we actually have some Halloween parties that are coming up at both of our schools also. The 24th and the 30th, somewhere around there. At both of our martial arts schools. So we have a lot happening.
Well, that sounds like
sounds
a
great.
blast. And is that something where kind of the public's welcome to come in and see what you guys are all about too?
Yeah.
great chance to
The
check
last
you guys
big
out.
thing that's important for us to plug is November 4th, we kick off our adaptive program for people on the autism spectrum at the East
my
Academy.
gosh.
We've been working on this for a while, and it's about to kick off.
Sounds
so.
like a
Doing lots of
fantastic
great
program.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys must be really proud to have that coming to life in November 4th. So
Yeah, we're also implementing after-school programs. I know it's a lot, but
Wow.
After-school programs is also a really big one that we're starting at our North Side School. So we're proud of
a
that.
lot of great things
Fantastic.
coming up, a lot of great ways for you to get involved at home if you're interested in learning more what these guys do. This has been Charles and Billy over at Hua Do. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having us.
ladies.
Our pleasure. We'll be right back with more Girl Talk. Welcome back to Girl Talk, everyone. We are here sitting at Rubens downtown. Fabulous, fabulous place to be. We always just love filming here. It is. And we're joined now by one of their designers, Danielle. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me again.
Of course. We're happy to see you again.
Yes.
So today, I know we've kind of gone into different collections that Rubens has, but I want to do an overview. And let's start off by why Rubens is such a unique place to buy furniture.
Right. So one of the unique things about Rubens is that we're located right downtown in the heart of Madison.
Right? You can see the Capitol just
Right,
right up the street.
exactly. And we have over 4 floors of furniture, which not a lot of people, not a lot of people know that. So
I didn't. I was amazed.
I know. Every time someone comes in the door, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this place is so big." It's like, yes, we have so much to offer, so much to offer. We're a family-owned business, local, which is also great. We're not a big box store.
So fabulous.
You know, the owners are in here every day.
Right.
Yep. So those are just a few things that make us unique. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is
I
so
absolutely
important.
love this building too. I mean, even like your location, that your physical location is just awesome.
Right.
Along
Right.
with everything you have inside.
Right, with the exposed brick, the hardwood floors.
Yeah.
It just really lends really well to contemporary furniture.
It does.
Yes.
That
And
kind of
that's-
industrial look.
And that's what I was going to ask. Is it just contemporary furniture in here that you specialize in?
We, on our showroom, we basically show a lot of contemporary furniture. However, we have pretty much every style anyone could want.
Okay.
So just because we display a lot of contemporary furniture doesn't mean that's the only thing we sell.
Sure.
We have transitional, we even do some traditional, pretty much everything. So don't just automatically think Rubens is only contemporary furniture, because we offer so much
That
more
and
than
so
that.
much more.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So let's talk about this so much more. I think I saw beds. downstairs,
Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you.
What else do you? Okay, so what else do you have?
Yeah,
besides?
so obviously living room furniture, sofas, chairs, everything with that. But then we also offer a full line of bedroom furniture, dining furniture. We can furnish every room in your home.
That would be a great
that
home
would
too.
Yes,
Can't you imagine?
exactly.
And I really think the experience you provide here, as well as the options. I mean, I know after the first time I shopped here, I was like, I honestly don't know why I would ever look anywhere else.
Yes.
The quality is the quality is just superb here too.
We hope that when clients come in here, they feel like they're getting something very special.
Oh, and something to have for a very, very long time to come.
Exactly, and we're different in the way that Madison doesn't have a lot of contemporary furniture options. Wisconsin doesn't have a lot of contemporary furniture options, so we're really proud to offer that, and we just hope that people get in the door and see what we
Everything
all
you have
have.
to offer.
Right.
Sure.
Yep. Mhm.
It is such an immense space, and I guess we just can't reiterate that enough, because you have so much in 4 floors. And when you walk down by the storefront, you wouldn't necessarily know
Exactly.
quite how much there is. So once you come in, you're going to be here all afternoon.
Exactly. Exactly.
And now,
Yep.
Danielle, of course, you're a designer here on
Yes.
staff. You guys have multiple designers on
We
staff.
do, yes.
And what services do you guys offer as designers?
So we offer complimentary design services to any client that comes in. If they're interested in purchasing furniture, we can set up a home call with them. So we can
right to their home?
we can go right to their house, take measurements of their rooms, just assess everything in the home and kind of
That's so awesome.
get a good idea of what they're working with and what they want. So our designers will come back to the store, we can draft floor plans up for the clients, and then pick pieces of furniture that will fit in their home.
Right.
Yep.
And I love that because, I mean, I'm seeing like light fixtures that you have in here, couches, whatever. I could be, that will go great. Yes, I need one of those. And then I get it home and it's like, it doesn't fit.
Exactly. So that's why we like to go to the home, measure the space.
Leave it to the experts.
Yes. We can help with color coordination, fabric selection, really bringing the whole room together. Like you said, we offer lighting, rugs, area rugs, accessories, so just the whole gamut of design.
Oh yeah, not just your main furniture pieces. You can get every single accessory needed to really complete a room and make it feel personal.
Right, right, exactly. And if we're not showing everything on our floor, we have hundreds of catalogs to choose from too. So if someone's looking for a very specific piece and they're not seeing it, we can definitely find it for them in one of our catalogs. And that's kind of our job. We do the design research for them, so they don't have to.
Oh, I feel better now.
So how do viewers at home, new clients coming in, people that are interested, get hooked up with the designers that you have here?
Sure. I always recommend coming into the store first just to make sure that you are seeing some pieces that you really like.
Which of course you will.
Yeah. And then if they pick out a few pinpoint pieces, one of our designers will be here to help them and then get them set up with a home call if that's what they'd like.
Sure.
Or we can just help them with design in the store too. So we have our whole design resource area. Again, that includes tons of fabrics, rugs, and all of the accessory catalogs. So
You guys have a great space for that. You really do.
we do, we really do.
And before we run out of time, let's give a little shout out because you have an event coming up, a sale event, right?
We do. So this October we're running a Made in America sale. So any of our furniture that's manufactured in the United States is on sale. So it's an additional 10% off our already sale prices. So, and we have probably 10 plus manufacturers that we really specialize in furniture that are made in America.
Now, just to give a really quick shout out to the collection that we're sitting in right now, this is from Planum, and this is called the Studio, right?
Right, right.
And is this one of the American made?
It actually is not. This one's imported. But if you are looking for something made in America, I would definitely stop in and just hundreds of pieces.
The Mod Life that we talked about last week.
Right, exactly. Yep, that's definitely included.
You also said there's like a clearance floor too.
There
right?
is. So we have our loft up on the second floor, and then there's a clearance up on the third floor too. So just so much to choose from.
And it's 10% additional off those prices.
Off
as
of
well.
off of the Made in America. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
a great sale coming up. Well, it was so wonderful talking with you today. I know I feel like I learned a lot more just about what Rubens does. It is so special and so unique in the area. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
This has been Danielle from Rubens Contemporary Furniture right here, downtown Madison. Thank you all for watching this episode of Girl Talk.